Hola everyone, I think we're on part 6 now of surviving a narcissist, how I became a single parent. Um, the reason why I started doing my vlog daily and also start my podcast up is because I was able to start my therapy back. The VA pays for my therapy because I'm a disabled veteran, so they pay for my therapy, and I've been diagnosed with one of the things I'm diagnosed with is childhood PTSD, or childhood post-traumatic stress disorder, and that stems from some traumatic experiences that I had as a child, and I'll go more into detail about that later whenever I get ready to talk about excuse me, the details of that. But as a result of my childhood PTSD, I have anxiety, paranoia, just different things are associated with that, having childhood PTSD. One of the results of that is not having a whole lot of trust or faith when it comes to the opposite sex, or just people in general, really. My real mom passed away when I was 3. My brother was 5. We were raised by our grandparents, as I've said before. And like I said, we lived a sheltered life and everything. That people pleasing thing, that's a result of my childhood PTSD. Not being able to say no, not liking conflict or avoiding conflict. All that is a result of that comes from that as well. And like I said, those are like green lights to a narcissist. Basically they learn about your childhood or your traumas or your weaknesses, and then they exploit them or they take advantage of them. But in the beginning, they make it seem like they're there to be helpful. You can trust them. They're trustworthy. They're not like the people that deal with, they're not like the people that cause you the trauma. They're going to be there for you. They'll always be there for you. The main thing is, you can trust them. They may be dishonest with other people. Yeah, they may be dishonest with other people, but they're not going to be dishonest with you. But that's what it's like in the first beginning. Then as the relationship progresses, then that's when you realize, you're like, what they're doing and what they're saying is not adding up. And with me being the person that I am, I believe, because of my past and my childhood, I'm like, okay, I believe what you do, not what you say. So that kind of ran out real quick with me in that relationship. So we butted heads a lot, but if you think about it, with me being a person that does not like conflict, we were constantly in conflict because he was constantly not doing what he said. Like, there was no follow through. And that was like one of the things, like, that used to just grind my gears, you could say, because I'm like, if you say you're going to do something, you should do it. And like I said, as a result of my childhood, I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Like, why you can't just do what you're saying? But that's like another thing that is a characteristic of a narcissist. They don't like to be questioned, and like I said, there's no accountability at all whatsoever. But like I said, I went into the relationship thinking that this is just going to be a fun time and a good time, not a long time. And I didn't think I was trying to fix the person, but when you look back at it, yeah, I was trying to fix them. And that's another characteristic of a person that's a people pleaser, and doesn't know how to say no. Now, that's another characteristic. So all those things, they made like a nice little pot of gumbo, and that was a very, very toxic pot of gumbo, very toxic relationship. But like I said, I didn't think I was gonna have to be in it for a long time. I felt like I could just leave whenever I got ready, but God saw different, and I ended up, like I said, when I reversed my PTOS, and actually he helped me do that. And then now when I look back and I think about it, I'm like, you don't want to give a person that much power or that much control. But when you think about it, like, if you know how to help a person reverse their health condition, Like, were you trying to do that like for your own means? Like, were you trying to get me pregnant so that way I would need you even more? Because if I need you, and see, that's another characteristic, being codependent. Like, if you can't really like live your life without depending on other people, now I have to depend on you now because number one, I'm disabled. I have disabilities. I need you to help me do X, Y, Z. On top of that, now I'm pregnant. So I mean, just add all that up, like, and it's like, did you create this situation because you felt like, yeah, I even have more control over her now because she's pregnant now she got a baby, like now she really gonna need me. But then in the end, they'll create a narcissist will create a situation and then they'll turn around and try to flip it on you, like, you're asking me to do too much. But like I said, he also would try to punish me too. Like, he would try to make me wait, like, say, you know, I need help doing certain things, you make me wait like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours before you come help me, but I'm supposed to feel grateful because you're helping me. But it doesn't make me feel grateful. It actually frustrates me because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I could have did this myself, but then if I do it myself, then I'm gonna have to pay for it because I'm gonna be in a lot of pain because I had to do it myself. So like I said, that's what it was like. That's some of what it was like, being in a relationship with a narcissist. Also, the cheating, when you know somebody cheating on you, but you're trying to stick it out because you're trying to be there, because you don't want your child to be raised in a single parent home, and you talk about this with the narcissist, and you have all these discussions with the narcissist beforehand, and then they still turn right around and do the opposite of what you guys agreed to. That is extremely frustrating. But that's another characteristic that you have to deal with if you're gonna stay with them. But like I said, I survived it, and you can survive it too. They don't do what they say, and there's no accountability. And I hope I'm not coming off as being negative or sounding bitter, because I'm not. I'm not a negative person, and I'm not bitter. I'm really just stating facts and getting this out. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, it was extremely toxic. But on the outside looking in, everything looked like it was hunky dory and sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff. That's what it looked like on the outside looking in. But you know, that's frustrating too. You know, when you're trying to paint a picture, you know, and like create a vibe, but you're the only person that's really creating the vibe, because the narcissist really don't care. He really didn't care at all. And I don't even know if he knew how to care, because he had been, you know, playing this role for so long. I don't even think he knew how to care. But like I said, I survived it, and you can too. I'm just basically sharing how it was, so maybe you can do a self-reflection and take a look at your relationship. It doesn't just have to be a romantic relationship. It can be like I keep saying, it could be like a family. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle can be a narcissist. You could have been raised by a narcissist and not know it. Yeah, that is very possible. I guess I'll talk about that at another date. But yeah, I survived it, and I guess in the next part I'll get more into how I ended up becoming a single parent, because I didn't choose to be a single parent. I didn't go into it trying to be a single parent, and I literally was sitting there trying to make it work, which is another characteristic of a person that's a people pleaser. And basically that's just like bait basically for a narcissist, because you know, they know you're positive and you try to make everything work and you want everything to work out, so you just keep making excuses. But yeah, you can survive it, just like I did. And even in the survival part of things, you can still be positive, because you have to be positive, because if you're a parent like I am, you have to be positive for your children, and you have to be mindful of the environment that you're creating for them. And having no parent sometimes, no partner, I'll say, is better if it's going to be a toxic environment for your child, because you know, you don't want them to have a childhood that they have to recover from. So stay tuned for the next part.